Excuse me, ladies and gentlemen, our service for Christopher is just about to commence. So can I ask anyone with a mobile phone if you can make sure it's switched to silent or off. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, could you please be upstanding?
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me.
Good morning, everyone. I want to welcome you here today, those who have gathered here and those who have joined us online. We've come here today to celebrate and give thanks for the life of Christopher Robert Rasmussen. This is a time of mixed emotions as we remember the special person that Chris was. We will share some memories together, support one another in this time of grief and loss, and say our farewells for now, confident that Christopher is at rest. He is free of life's struggles. He has begun a new and fuller eternity of peace and happiness, living in the freedom of the spiritual realm. As we say our goodbyes today, we will reverently commit Christopher's shell to return to the elements. We will go on strengthened in love and friendship, for we have known that Christopher will be with us in spirit until we meet again. It is never easy to say goodbye to someone we have known and loved, and yet we seek to find strength in the knowledge that his life was a life well lived, as this poem that Helen will read to us now reflects.
A life well lived is a precious gift of hope and strength and grace from someone who has made our world a brighter, better place. It's filled with moments sweet and sad, with smiles and sometimes tears, with friendships formed and good times shared and laughter throughout the years. A life well lived is a legacy of joy and pride and pleasure, a loving, lasting memory our grateful hearts will treasure.
This time we're going to hear some of Christopher's life story, and I invite David to come and share that with us now.
Chris was always an adventurous spirit, fun-loving, and he always had the ability to engage in any type of work he came across, and he was a good cook as well. Wherever Chris went, he had the ability to pick up work. When he went down back to stay at the parents' house years ago, they were doing some work at the end of the road, and he just walked up, asked them for work, and he was able to start straight away. When my wife and I got married, he was actually a gardener at SeaWorld when we went visiting him on a honeymoon. Chris was always looking out for us. We always enjoyed our conversations together. One of many fond memories that I've had for Chris is that when involved in the scouting organisation, he was a leader. And one of the weekends away, on our return trip home, we'd stop at a local park to have lunch. After lunch, when the kids were getting a little bit restless, Chris would always jump up and yell at the kids, "Come and catch me." And then he would run around with all the kids chasing after him. I don't know whether the kids were able to catch him or whether he would just let them, which was most likely for him. But he would stop, they would jump on top of him, and all you would see was a pile of kids. He would struggle and then let out a mighty roar, throw them off, would run around and carry on again until they ran out of energy, which was obviously a good way to tire them out before the bus trip home. Chris moved around a bit, part of his adventurous spirit. Recently our children were talking about some of the places and houses that he'd stayed at in Queensland and we had visited him at. Chris will always be loved and he will be missed. We love you, Chris, always. Thank you.
Thanks for that, David. Is there anyone else who has a special memory that you would like to come and share with us? Well, we've heard only a little bit of Christopher's life story. As Dave said, he was someone who seemed to be able to see the bright side of life no matter where he went, and brought the brightness into other people's lives as well. You have your own memories and things that you would be able to tell each other about his life and how you engaged with him. I want you to recall those special times now as we listen to this special piece of music. More than this, for his life was more than this. And I invite you to recall those special times of Christopher. Take this opportunity to give thanks for having known him, having had him in your life, and to say your own quiet farewell to him.
Give
At the conclusion of our service here today, you're invited to join Helen and each other at the entrance. Sorry? You have some, you come on up then. Yep. Before that, but afterwards you can share your memories at the entrance. Thanks.
Firstly, I'd like to say thank you everybody for coming today to celebrate Christopher's life. Christopher and I met quite a long time ago, and there was an instant connection. I found him to be smart, kind, loving, supportive. I have lost the love of my life. He was home for me. Krista had many varying jobs during his life, and you know what? He enjoyed all of them, and he just really enjoyed life. We laughed a lot. We had a great love of music and often danced around the lounge room and laughed at each other and thought we were hilarious. We had fun together. My life will never be the same. And you are right, Christopher was a wonderful cook, and he made us lots of beautiful food, and we had lots and lots of happy times, and I've got beautiful memories. Thank you.
So share your memories with each other at the Entrance Hotel at the conclusion of our service today, where there will be some refreshments for you there. And it's a good chance to share some of those special meals, maybe even.
It's at Tigers.
It's at Tigers now, is it?
Sorry,
Okay,
no.
that's all right. It's at Tigers. So those of you who are here, go to Tigers, not the Entrance. Okay, that's good. Christopher was well liked, and he had a really good sense of humour, as we've heard. Great cook. You can probably recall something that he did for you, but probably one of the things that I noticed in the few pictures I've seen of him is that he had a great smile. He has a sense of humour. And if you think about his smile and just, as you said, making the kids kind of lifted them up, and there's kind of a glow that would go with that. And I think that's an afterglow that he leaves with us as we think of his smile. For he might say, I'd like the memory of me to be a happy one. I'd like to leave an afterglow of smiles when day is done. I'd like to leave an echo whispering softly down the ways of happy times and laughing times and bring the sunny days. I'd like the tears of those who grieve to dry before the sun of happy memories I leave behind when day is done. Let's think of those happy memories, and that will help us to smile and have courage to go on. Let us give thanks that Chris has indeed been part of our lives. In the stillness, we give thanks for the many ways that Christopher shared his life with each of you and with others, in strength and in weakness, in achievement and failure, in the brightness of joy and in the darkness of despair, in the challenges of life, and in all that seemed effortless. Let us remember Christopher as one of us, offering laughter, love, friendship, and support. We're thankful that he was a hard worker, for his love of books and reading, his enjoyment of the many genres of music, for his great cooking skills, his inquisitive mind, always wanting to know how things work, taking them apart. But you didn't tell me, Helen, whether he put them all back together again. Yes, he had a great sense of humour, how he enjoyed every moment of life. We're thankful for the love and the friendship that he offered to Helen and to each one of you, his family and friends. We are thankful that Christopher, though, is now free of the struggles and challenges, the restrictions of this life. Weakness is overcome, and death itself is conquered. While Christopher has left our earthly sight, and we feel the loss in his departing, we give thanks for the many years of his presence with us. And I now invite you, if you'd like to join me in the prayer, the Lord's Prayer, to pray together. Our Father in heaven, hallowed be your name. Your kingdom come, your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us today our daily bread. Forgive us our sins as we forgive those who sin against us. Save us in the time of trial and deliver us from evil. For the kingdom, the power, and the glory are yours, now and forever. Amen. As we come to that moment of farewell, I remind you that to love someone is to risk the pain of parting. The emotions we now experience, grief, thankfulness, regret, indebtedness, frustration, fear for the future, or a sense of hope, all of these belong to the honouring of love. So if you are able, I invite you to please stand. It has been said, when people die, no one understands, or sometimes even cares. But when they die, no calamity can hurt them, and in death they find rest and peace. Christopher, we now release your spirit to the universe, that it may roam free, knowing complete peace and happiness. Friends, we've released Christopher's spirit to the universe. Now we commit his body to return to the elements, earth to earth, ashes to ashes, dust to dust, in sure and certain hope that we will meet again in that realm beyond our vision. To Christopher, peace has come. You may be seated. As we go forward, you can shed tears that Christopher is gone, or you can smile because he has lived. You can close your eyes and pray that he will come back, or you can open your eyes and see the good that he has left behind. Your heart can be empty because you can't see him, or your heart can be full because of all the love that you have shared. You can turn your back on tomorrow and live for yesterday, or your heart can be happy for tomorrow because of yesterday. You can remember him and only that he's gone, or you can cherish his memory and let it live on. You can cry and close your eyes, be empty and turn your back, or you can do what he would want. Smile, open your mind, live, love, and go on. I want to thank you for coming here today, for us to have celebrated Christopher's life. I remind you that you're invited to go and share at Tigers some of your memories and share those with each other. And if you'd like to do something special in Christopher's memory, then you're invited to make a donation at your leisure to the cancer research. So thank you for coming here today, and I invite you to join Helen and sharing your memories. It's okay to shed your tears now.
Would you know my name if I saw you in heaven? Would it be the same if I saw you in heaven? I'm there.